And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara Podcast. Here's Jeff.
Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. And if you're on the other side of the planet, happy Sunday to you. My apologies for being late. I had a family emergency, so I had to start about an hour later. But we are here. We are ready to go. We've got 3 people in the waiting room, so that's great. And you're here. And this is your time to come and share. This is for you guys. So it's your time. If you're ready to share, we're ready to hear you. And if you want to share, all you have to do is go to the description below. There is a link that you can join, or you can go to Zoom, click join a meeting, and then you can use the password and the ID, which are also below. In the description, you will find links to our other channels, like our music channel and our cooking channel. You will find a link to our Facebook page, and you will find a link to my personal Facebook page, which you may finally discover that Mara is my beloved wife, and my last name is Reynolds. And with that, I think we're ready to get started. There's 103 of you here, and there's 4 people waiting. So let's get going, everybody. And let's start with Nicole Kerr. Now, some people have been waiting may have been here for quite some time. And so I'm hoping that they're still here. And Nicole, I guess, is here. Hey, Nicole, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jeff. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Great to see you again.
It is so great to see you too. And
I'm sorry, Nick. I want to let everybody know that Nicole was a guest. Do you know what podcast number you were?
610. It was actually a little over a year ago, if you can believe it.
610. That was amazing. Can you remind us briefly what we talked about during your podcast?
Yeah, let me see if I can share my screen with you and see if I can.
Okay, I have to turn it on for you.
Okay.
Now, you had an NDE, one NDE or more than one?
I actually had several.
Several NDEs. We talked about your NDE.
Yeah. Is that coming up? Can you see my screen?
I see Zoom. What are you going to be sharing with us?
I was going to show you, first of all, here's the podcast.
Oh, there we are.
Floating like an astronaut. Can you see that?
Yeah, okay, that's the podcast. If you guys haven't seen it, you need to go check it out.
Yeah, and so I was 19 years old and a cadet at the United States Air Force Academy. And my sophomore year, I was a passenger in this, what was a Corvette convertible, 1965 Corvette convertible.
Wow.
And needless to say, I did not survive. The driver did with minimal injuries, but I was pronounced dead at the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I was clinically dead around 10 to 13 minutes and then resuscitated by EMT. And then later had 2 more near-death experiences in the hospital where I coded in an operation. And then my lungs filled up at a separate time with fluid. And both times I left my body and wanted to go back to the other side. But in the story, if you go back and listen to the podcast, my memory took 20 years to remember what happened. All I had remembered were the bright white lights. So it's
let me stop you there real quick. Why do you think it took so long for you to remember everything?
I think there's a couple of things. When your body goes through a horrific trauma like mine did, if you don't have safety or a sense of safety in your body, your body keeps a score. There's a great book out by that title, and it remembers everything. And if you're not able to safely process it and have the support around you to process it with people that are affirming, it's going to probably send you to the psych ward if you have to remember all of this and not have that kind of support and sense of safety within yourself. So I think those were 2 of the biggest factors. And I think the third factor is my guides from the other side. And we all have angels and spirit guides if we want to connect with them. They finally said, Nicole, it's your time. You don't need to come back and repeat this lesson again. So we're going to actually bring this up in your memory bank for you to now process, move through, digest, and align with so that you can get this message out. Because the message I have, very simply, is to tell people not to be afraid of death. And the reason that I wanted to come on tonight was because I think we're experiencing more death and planetary grief on this planet right now. And I'm not saying that to alarm us, Jeff, but there's been people dying suddenly. Just even in my own life, my husband and I have had 3 people that we know of die unexpectedly and quickly. One fell down a flight of stairs, 55 years old, hit his head, died. The sound guy for most of the bands around here, unfortunately, took some drugs. It was laced with fentanyl. He died in his early 30s, So things like that are happening. Not to mention,
why do you think that's happening?
Well, that's a good question. I wanted to ask you that to see what you thought about why is this level of death occurring? Because when we look at the opioid epidemic, that's over 600,000 lives that have been lost since that started. And I think more suicides. I know I've seen reports that the suicide rate is up. And people that have been struggling with terminal illnesses are deciding to leave the planet. And it's not just humans leaving the planet. There are aspects of death in our planetary system that we have to reckon with. And I saw that with Lahaina. I lived in Oahu in Hawaii for 17 years, know Lahaina well, and the wildfires there that destroyed the city and claimed over 100 lives and displaced over thousands of people. And then you look at the massacre in Israel and then the earthquakes in Afghanistan and Morocco. So it's on a planetary scale too that's having to do with our climate. So I wanted to ask you that. What would be your thought?
Well, excuse me. It just depends on, I haven't had the NDE like you guys have, or I have not astral traveled as far as I know it. But from my guest, I literally posted one yesterday that she was shown the future, and it may have been even part of what she was shown, but she believes we're in the end times now. Some people believe that we live in a simulation and the simulation's going to be ending soon. So I wish I could give you a definitive answer, but I can't. One thing though I wanted to mention before I don't want to forget it for later, is that I always remember you because you were in the Air Force Academy when this
Yeah.
happened. And whenever I think about the Air Force Academy, I remember your NDE and your story.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I
Hmm.
was one of the first classes of women, and my soul was in the wrong place. I went there to please my father, and it was a very abusive environment, and I just couldn't quit. Failure in our household was not an option growing
Hmm.
up, and so the shame and humiliation and embarrassment to quit, I couldn't live with that. So I just stayed on, and my soul just kept getting more fearful, and fear was running my whole system. And we know that when fear runs our system, that we don't have any clarity. We're not making decisions for our highest and greatest good, because it's all coming from this amygdala, where your fight, flight, freeze, and fawn is coming from, instead of our prefrontal cortex, which we can actually get into the parasympathetic state and use our executive reasoning to make decisions. So we're not going to make good decisions when we're reacting out of fear. And what I wanted to talk about today is the lessons that I learned over there, and hundreds of thousands of other NDEers. And I want people to take these lessons and not have to go through what we went through to have to learn them. And I think if we can awaken to these lessons and start applying them, that we can change the vibration, the trajectory, and the energy of all of this soul loss. And the first one is we don't die. And I'll see if I can put another screen up and
All
just,
right.
let's see.
It's amazing that you spoke about while you're putting that up. I'm just going to mention this, that tomorrow night's guest, we were talking about how, or part of the conversation was how people end up doing things in their life that their family wanted them to do, like you.
Yeah.
And we were talking like if you talk to a child usually when a child, she was saying, I think when a child's about 3 or 4 years old, they kind of know what they want to do when they're here. Their spirit knows what they're here to do.
And if you have dogmatically positioned parents that want you to be what they want you to be, or you're in religious organizations that instill fear in you because they present a concept of God that's dual. God's both love, and God can be bad if you don't do the right thing. You're a bad person, or you're a sinner if you don't follow the rules. So when a child is growing up with that level of fear, they're not going to trust their intuition to go and follow that guiding light that we all have, that eternal spark of God. So I think it's really important from a young age that we start looking at how we're instilling fear in children around death. And Halloween is coming up, and that is a holiday where kids, when they see coffins and they see skeletons coming out of coffins and Dracula and all that, it scares the wee out of them. You have kids, you know that. And that does not go away with 1 year cycle of Halloween. They're still scared at age 5 and 6 and 7. And so why are we doing that to children? Because that's just instilling more fear in them about the concept of death. And I think we really need to look at that, because the following day in the Latino culture is All Souls Day. We don't even mention the word, Jeff, soul on Halloween. And then the next day they're celebrating with skeletons the souls of these people that have passed.
Yeah.
So something to think about in terms of, as we move forward. It's the second most popular holiday outside of Christmas, and it's growing. So I think, we need to pull back from this and look at the fear elements that we're creating, and that it's a long-term fear that's really causing kids to be scared of death. And we really need to reframe that and change the narration on that.
Right.
But I want to just talk about these lessons real quickly.
So
The first one is, you got them on the screen? Yeah, we don't die.
I don't have your screen up. I think I allowed you to do it. Yeah, it's still there. I'm not seeing your screen share, but we know number one is
we do not die.
We don't die.
Okay. I don't know why you're not getting that. Okay, so I'm putting it up, but it's still not coming up, is it?
That's strange. There we go.
Okay. When I say die, yes, our physical bodies die, but our soul, that part of us that is our eternal self, which in my opinion includes all your life experience, your lives, your experiences, and the whole you, your energy body, which we all have, it cracks open upon death and your soul leaves your body. Okay.
I want to stop
And
you 1 second. I'm so sorry, but I want to stop you for 1 second because I interviewed a guest today, and this is the first time that I heard this, but she said when she was leaving her body, I mean, I hear it from people who have OBEs, but not NDEs. When she was leaving her body, she kept hearing this cracking, popping sound. And you just said that. Did you have that cracking, popping sound when you left your body?
no, I completely flew out when
Mm-hmm.
I went through the windshield. I did not, my angel, in the book I called him Casper the Friendly Ghost, but I now know it's my grandfather on my paternal side that came down and picked me up when I was midair. I knew I was going to die when I hit the ground. So he brought my soul up. I just completely flew out of it, and he caught me and took me over to the other side. But we do know that we all have an energy body around us, and it does crack. And when I had my soul retrieval, the shaman that did it said that my energy body was still cracked open 30% all these years. So I kept disassociating and kept trying to fly out of my body every time I would get triggered. So that would make sense to me that she actually could hear that energy body popping open. I believe that totally. I just didn't happen to hear it.
Yeah. And that makes sense to me. Yeah. And I think a lot of NDEers may not hear it because they go through such massive trauma
Yeah, and it
physically.
happens so quickly.
Right.
It really, really does. So I want people to understand that our soul is what lives on. And so we don't die. We will incarnate many times. The second one is love is all that matters and is the source of all that exists. And think about that. That's when I think about God, source, whatever you want to call the greater author of this universe, it's love. And that really is all that matters. And if we could understand that lesson today, John Lennon talked about it in his song Imagine, and just love is that it's an energy, it's an emotion, it's an action, but in the end, it's all that matters. I just came back from the NDEs, International Association of Near-Death Studies conference in Washington. And at the end of the whole 5 days, the bottom line on the other side, it's all about love and oneness, which gets to number 3, everything and everyone is connected. Jeff, we know that we're all energy. What you're doing affects not only your family, your community, affects everyone. What you're doing here on your podcast, my energy, it's all affecting each other. The air from Canada that came down, it got all the way down to South Carolina, affected 132 million Americans in terms of their breathing, so these shared resources of air and water, but we also are connected to Mother Earth, and we're connected to all sentient beings. And we have got to realize we have got to put down our prejudices and our anger and our hatred and our divide toward one another, and realize, as when I was in the military, we would say we all bleed red, and that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter skin type, sex type, any of that kind of stuff that we are using to divide us. So if we can just learn that lesson now and start applying that and realizing everyone you meet, every creature you come in contact with, we're all connected in this greater sense. Loving ourselves and others is the most important thing we can do. It's hard to love yourself when you're judging yourself or when you're shaming yourself. And that's why I tell people, take that word should out of your vocabulary. Quit shoulding yourself, your children, your family, because that just absolutely lowers the vibration, and it sends a message of shame to them that they're not good enough. So Start looking at how you do that to yourself and quit judging yourself, first of all, and not judge others. And that goes back into the Bible when Jesus even talked about judge not lest you be judged. So understand and start practicing the things that you can do to start expanding your heart and loving yourself. Okay, number 5, we're more than our physical bodies and brains. Duh, I just said that about our soul coming. Okay, that is the most important thing. And we're never alone. Isn't that just a wonderful thing to know? We're never alone in the world. Okay, there's a whole spiritual realm, and this veil between us is very thin. Some people say it really doesn't even exist, but it gets thinner toward the month of November. And we have so much support on the other side between angels, spirit guides, deceased loved ones, including our pets. Okay, they're on the other side as well. And we can talk to them. Okay, just because they're not here in the physical form does not mean that we can't still talk to them. But ask your angels for help. That was a message I was directly given as well. They are not going to interfere in our lives because of something called free will. So we have to ask for help. And don't think asking for a parking place is too small or stupid. Ask. And they will demonstrate to you that they will do it. They will come through for you. And 7, we're not judged. Okay, when I was on the other side, guess what? There wasn't anybody over there holding a book saying, Nicole, you did this on this date at this time, and you thought this or whatever. You're not judged. Okay. I mean, what a relief that is to know you're not going to be judged on the other side. That is a man-made concept designed to keep us in fear. Our true selves are perfect, and we are loved more than we can fathom. That's the soul. It's perfect. Your powerful, radiant, beautiful soul is perfect. We forget that. It's called spiritual amnesia. We forget that when we come in, that's who we are. So if we can start remembering that who our true nature is, we don't have to go prove anything to anybody because we are perfect. Number 9, we will see loved ones and others when we return home. Okay, so yes, you will. Like I saw my deceased grandfather. Now, he's not in his human form on that side. Okay, he was at a much younger age, and I could tell he was, from his energy, he was around 30 something years old. But everything on that side is done through vibration, through telepathy. We don't have eyes like we have our eyes here in the human. You can see peripherally everything all at once. So you will know and sense and see your loved ones when you go to the other side. And the last one is, during a life review, we learn how everything we said, did, and thought during our physical life, meaning here on earth, impacted ourselves, others, and the world. So this is a reminder that everything you do, say, and think in this lifetime, this is what the life review is about. And this is where you can do things differently. You can be kinder to people. You can, take care of the planet better, pick up the litter, get active in causes that can save the water, or, elect officials that are going to do what's right for Mother Earth and for all sentient beings, so it's about being aware and being responsible and taking meaningful action, and to align with your truth of who you are. And if we collectively do this, we change the vibration of this planet.
2 things. One is, I don't know if you said it, but one of my guests said that the veil is an illusion, which you kind of sound like you were about to say that. And why is it that the veil gets thinner in November? That's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Getting close to, winter is coming, and people know if they are wanting to leave this planet that they want to do it before the holidays. They don't want to do it and cause distress to family members during the holiday season, because that's supposed to be one of comfort and joy, so to speak. The other reason is winter is a really hard time. The weather is cold in most places. People are indoors. They're isolated. It's bleary and dreary, and there's not a lot to look forward to. People aren't having parties and weddings and celebrations during that time. So it's a time when people feel like, one of the things that's important is to have something to look forward to. And if you don't have that in your life, or it's so far out you can't see how you're going to get there, then you just start giving up. And if you think that you're becoming a burden on your family, you start wanting to let go because you don't want to create that extra hardship on a person. So there's many factors. Yeah.
It's amazing. And the people who come every week, I talk about this. I talk about it on my podcast so much too. But again, the things that you've talked about are literally what you're all saying is like literally what I interviewed a person today. It's like one leads to another, it leads to another, it leads to another. And it was between the one that I recorded today and the one that I posted yesterday. So it's amazing that they all like the synchronicity of how one flows into the next one.
Well, and I think one of the things they were saying at the conference is if you've had a near-death experience, to write it up, to get it out there. And more people are having them or remembering them. And it's important to get that information out there because it helps validate. And I think that is what is starting to happen, even if it's just, writing it for a magazine article or a local newspaper or stuff like that, because people, especially the baby boomers that are looking at their own mortality, this is something, if you haven't had an NDE, people really want to know, well, what do you think it's going to be like? Because the way I was raised, it was so fear-based. I'm scared to death of it. And that's what I'm trying to say is the concept of God that I was raised with as a Lutheran and Southern Baptist, they really put the fear of God in me. And it was so scary to think about, displeasing God, because you would be separated from your eternal family and be in a place called hell. And let me tell you, when people ask me if hell exists, I say, hell no. It is on earth. It's a man-made concept designed to keep you in fear, which keeps them in control of you. So I'm hoping people start reevaluating their concept of God and understand that God, in my opinion, in my experience, and thousands of others, God is just love, period. Take away that whole side of judgment, criticism, the wrath of God, all of that. That just doesn't exist. And God is not causing wars. He's not out there doing all of this. This is man using God's name inappropriately and misleadingly, and causing so much harm and distress and just horrific acts that are allowing humans to treat one another that way.
Well, excuse me, I have a lot of phlegm in my voice today. Nicole, I'm going to have to run soon, but before I go, how can people find out, what you're up to? Do you have a website or a YouTube channel?
I do.
Or what?
Yeah, I am at www.nicolekerr.com. I have recently released a book called You Are Deathless. It's also
cool.
on Audible.
When did that come out?
That came out last year.
Oh, wow.
And it is already a national bestseller.
Wow,
so I'm
congratulations.
Grateful for that. I narrated it myself to do the Audible. That
Good
put
for
me
you.
back in therapy. Oh, it put me back in therapy.
Wow.
But I just wanted to remind your listeners, we never know when our last day on earth is going to be. And if we actually lived with that awareness that we would be more present I think we would live in a deeper, more meaningful way. And that can change the vibration and the direction and the worldview.
Well, don't take so long to come back. We're happy to have you back. Don't be a stranger.
Thank
You
you.
now know where we are every Saturday night. So come back and hang out with us again.
Oh, I would love to do that. And you and your beautiful wife and precious kids do
Thank
take
you.
care, okay?
Thank you so much. All right,
Okay.
Nicole, I got to run. You have a great
Bye-bye.
evening. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Oh, she's already gone. And a big round of applause for Nicole. It's great having a previous guest come back. All right, I don't know if Vicky is there or not, because Vicky, he is usually there waiting from the beginning, but when I've started late, sometimes he doesn't pick up on that. So we'll happen to see if Vicky's there next. It seemed like something was happening. Maybe Vicky is there. So we'll see what's going on with Vicky. All right, so yes, tomorrow's video is an NDE. I think she actually had 2 NDEs, and we talked a lot about, I don't know how we would phrase that. It was like the 5 certain things. Vicky,
Hi.
how's it going?
Yeah, it's fine.
Great to see you today. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right, I like your outfit today. What does that represent?
This is actually a hunter. I'm in a hunter's costume.
A hunter's costume. What would you be
Yeah.
hunting? If you were,
Lion.
there you go, a lion hunter. By the way, Vicky, you know what I want to do with you one time, if you're up for it? I watched your yoga video, and your scorpion pose was amazing. I have to say, you have fantastic flexibility and strength, and I was really impressed with what you did there. Maybe you could give us a yoga lesson sometime, because that was pretty amazing.
Even today, I can do some poses.
You can give us a yoga pose lesson. I mean, the scorpion has got to be something that's super advanced, because I don't think I know I can't do that pose.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to share one with us, and how it helps your body, and what is it good for?
Yeah, scorpion pose is actually good for a lot of things, like activating the Kundalini energy, which we also call a microcosmic orbit in Qigong and Qigong tradition. Yeah.
Have you
Qigong and Tai.
Have you had a Kundalini awakening?
I don't know. I'm not so much subliminal, but I have consciously practiced a lot of Kundalini Reiki to activate the Kundalini energy.
So do you activate it through the scorpion pose, or you can do any other poses to activate your Kundalini energy?
Can actually through chakrasana, whichever creates the backbends and things of that sort, which tries to align the tailbone and the crown chakra.
All right. Well, what can you teach us?
Today, I can plan to do Mayurasana. Mayurasana is also one of the most advanced yoga poses, one of the advanced poses which can actually detox and activate the Manipur chakra, the solar plexus.
The solar plexus. What was the pose called?
Mayurasana, peacock pose.
Tika pose?
Peacock.
Oh, peacock pose. Okay, peacock pose. All right. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, if you want to show it to us, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you're saying when you do back bends, that helps activate Kundalini?
Yeah. Are you able to see?
Yeah, I mean that I'm told you you have great flexibility and strength. And that's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was great. Got to give you a round of applause for that. But you were
Yeah.
saying earlier that back bends is what activates
Hmm.
the Kundalini.
Yeah. Back bends like cartwheel pose and yeah, almost lots of poses like Raja Kapotasan
Maybe you
and
can you show everybody the scorpion pose?
yeah, I can.
Maybe you should give yoga lessons on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I do, but my main thing is dance. So I post a lot of videos on dance.
That's amazing. Fantastic.
Yeah.
The audience wants to know how to spell your name, Vicky.
Vicky Gold Ganesh and Vicky Ganesh Rani is my another name.
Do you spell it Vicky?
Yeah, VICKYGOLDGANESH.
All right. That's Vicky Gold Ganesh. That is the name of your YouTube channel, correct? Vicky Gold Ganesh.
Yeah.
How long have you been practicing yoga for?
Yoga I have been practicing, I started practicing by 2011 and
2000.
then 2000 by the year of 2010, by the end of 2010.
That's amazing.
Then around 2013-14, I perfected a lot of poses.
Are you doing it daily?
Weekly, 2 to 3 times. Weekly, 2 times, definitely I do. Rest of the days, I practice dance.
I feel like you're more into Reiki, though. Would you say that's true?
Not exactly. More into dance, actually. Reiki also.
More into dance, all right. So, for those of you that are new, Vicky has had his DNA altered by ETs. I don't even know if we ever talked. Was it the Greys, Pleiadians, or who?
I think it could be Palladians.
Palladians, and he is now
I feel it could be Arcturians because they look more like
Arcturians.
Yeah.
I was talking with a guest recently, and or either I was talking to a guest or I was reading about it. I can't remember, but they were saying that the Hindu gods are blue were Arcturians. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, certain gods like Vishnu and Shiva, they are all blue in color and they are also extraordinary in height. Normal height.
Would you consider Vishnu and Shiva ETs?
Yeah, they are ETs. They are human-friendly ETs, and they are very nearby to this planet Earth also. They are host planet. So they could be ETs.
Yeah, makes sense to me. All right, Vicky. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to share, or do you want to tell us more about your costume today, or anything else before I got to run, or do you want to dance today?
My hunter's costume, and I've created myself to be a hunter today. So maybe I can dance if you have time.
All right, let me put on the music. But you're probably going to have to adjust your camera. All right, I got the music. I got it going. All right, great job, Vicky. Great job.
Yeah.
Vicky, before I go, I got to run here, but someone wants to know, how do you decorate or create your room?
Yeah, by using screens and lots of other decorative items
Mm-hmm.
for embellishment. Yeah.
All right. Well, Vicky, have a great rest of your week. Maybe we'll see you back next week and you can give us another yoga lesson.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Have a great weekend. Take care, Vicky.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye. And a big round of applause for Vicky. Now, I think Shira's having some problems, or she has a time problem, so I need to bring in Shira first. So, Levin, my apologies about that, but she messaged me, and I started late, so we'll get her in real quick, and then we'll have you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, but I can't see you.
I got that video.
There you are.
So sorry, I couldn't hear. I'm on my phone and trying to do my little speaker back there.
What is that?
It's my speaker, and it does weird things.
Your phone? Are you Bluetoothing to your phone so you can hear through that?
I was trying to because I couldn't hear. It was like your show was coming through, like my phone was on, but the speaker wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
So I was missing everything. I could turn this off, but not.
Well, while you're doing that, I want to know if you've seen any more ETs or ships lately.
Yes, I have.
It's amazing that you're seeing them now, and Tanya is also seeing them.
Yes, and one thing I meant to tell Tanya in Discord, I'm trying to figure out how to turn this thing off. I'm sorry. I'm 55 and I'm lost in this world sometimes. Is that take pictures and then when you're done, blow them up. And so I think that she could have showed us the pictures if she had just gone inside and blown them up, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I got it all. Okay, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your audio is a little bit weird, but I can still hear you.
Well, this thing won't go off. Okay. All right, I'm working on it. Okay, so can I share my screen?
Yes, you can. I have it set up from Nicole earlier. Yeah, I still have it turned on, and I got to remember to turn it off when I'm done with you, just in case a background person shows up.
That is so sick. I mean, some people are just so sick. I mean, keep it, get a life, and get off our show and do something else. Go destroy somebody else's visual. Anyway, okay. Are you there?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So we can. All right. Let me put on my glasses. I'm an old lady.
You got a cold, by the way? You sound a little bit different.
Yeah. You know, the dogs are bringing in some dirt from the yard. No. Okay. So, share. Right? Walk me through this, Jeff. Help me out.
Well, I've never done it on a phone. I only do it from the computer, but there's somewhere, and I've helped other people, that should say share screen. People are still having trouble hearing you, by the way. Okay, you're sharing.
All right.
Are you on a phone or an iPad?
All I have is my phone.
Are you on a phone or an iPad?
I'm on the phone.
Hello?
Yes, I'm on the phone.
Is it possible that you can plug in like one of these headset things so we can hear you more clearly?
Turn.
There, that's better. Well, I don't know what you did, but that was a lot better.
I turned the speaker thing off. Okay,
Yeah.
So we're sharing, and isn't that cool with the moon and the camel?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, there you are. Okay. Let me move you over. Okay. UFOs. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, there we
All
go.
right.
Cool.
Okay. So this was I took, if you guys remember and you watched like a month ago, and if you didn't see it a month ago, then you should be tuning in every week because we always got cool stuff here at the JeffMara podcast.
Yes.
Woo-hoo. All right. So I took like 5 pictures outside of this star that, or this thing that was moving around. And so one of the pictures was this. And so I sent Jeff a recording, and I'm sorry I can't show you. I would show you the recording, but it would waste your time, and I value your time. So, so anyway, I was seeing another UFO, and my neighbor saw it too. So it's just not me now. My neighbor saw it too, and so we saw another. Now here it was, and I took the picture. Okay, I'm going to expand. So up here in the top left side is like, I guess a planet or up there. But then this thing at the bottom right was like moving erratically. And I did a video and I sent it to Jeff. And Jeff heard it. And it was like, okay, you're moving north, you're moving north, you're moving east, you're moving east. And I'm like, I got real excited. I was trying to do the John Martin thing like Tanya does, like, we love you, thank you for showing yourself, and now you're doing this and you're moving this way. And I was like, and now you're moving west, and now you're moving west. and I was like, thank you so much for showing yourself, and I so appreciate it. And so this is a picture because I couldn't get, oh, and there's another one to the left I didn't even see. But the one to the right was just like going north and then going east and then going west. And that was going, and I was like, Jeff would love for you to come and visit him in his backyard and maybe even show up on the show. And then it started moving southwest. I was like, oh, you're going southwest. That's where Jeff and Mara live.
Did you do anything prior to seeing them? Did you meditate, or did you look up in the sky and said, "Star family, come visit me," or anything?
I ran to the store and got a bottle of wine and came home, pulled up in the yard and started looking at the stars. Nothing special, nothing new. And so I saw this thing just going erratic. And so I tried to do a video, but as you saw the video, you can't see anything in the video. And the wild thing is, see, on the left, that's like some planet or something. But on this bottom right, here you go. It's the same dang thing that I saw like a month before. You see it? It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like in a question mark.
Right.
And that's that. Those two are the same. And
That's
see,
amazing.
a guy in Discord who, we chat, he said, it looks like a Jewish letter. And I knew that in the back of my mind, but I could not think of what letter it was. So I looked it up, and there you go.
Wow.
And yes, yes. Isn't that wild? He's like, okay, I know you're Jewish, so here you go. And so, how do we, let's go down, go
Maybe
down.
that was something that was meant just for you to connect with you.
It's called, that letter is called the Resh, Rosh. I don't speak Hebrew. I'm horrible at foreign languages, but it's the 20th Hebrew letter, meaning head, leader, and beginning. It is the symbol of choosing between greatness and degradation. So anyway, that is the letter, and that is what has been appearing. Now, the other 4 or 5 pictures that I took a month ago, they were in totally different shapes. They all weren't this shape, but the picture I took from a month ago and the picture I took from a couple of weeks ago, those are the same, and it is that Hebrew letter, which is totally wild. So, also, I just wanted to share that I did catch a UFO on tape.
That's a good one.
I thought you'd like that. I thought you'd like that. Okay. All right. So, there's something else I want to share. And let's get here. Now, oh, there you are. Okay. Okay. How can I do this? How can I? It's not here. It should be here. Okay. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. This. Oh, okay. All right. Nope. All right. Let's see if I can do this. You with me?
Yeah. You're not going to show some other person's video, are you?
This is not copywritten.
Because I don't want to.
No. 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 No.
What do you
no,
mean
no.
it's not copywritten? If it's on YouTube, it's copywritten, basically.
It is this video. It's 4 minutes long, and I kind of scooted it in, so it's like right at 4 minutes. And it is showing us the size of the moon and the earth and our solar system, and then the other things that we have seen outside of our solar system to show us the size of us with things that we know about in the universe.
Right, I've seen those on Facebook, but yeah, don't play it. But what you can do is please post it in Discord, and whoever wants to check it, they can go see it in Discord.
Okay, all right. I don't know if you all. Ooh, okay, all right. Let's get back to where we were. Sorry. Okay.
Now, you told us before that Timo is a good place to shop, and I saw it there on your phone.
Awesome. Their jewelry is like, you can wear it 5 or 10 times, but then it's like toss away jewelry. Oh, that right there. My dad dated Elvis's ex-girlfriend. She found out when he came home from his first tour that he was messing around on her. And so she hooked up with my dad, who was a Memphis State player, football player. And they were together for like 3-4 years, madly in love.
Wow.
And so
that's cool.
Yeah. And so dad would say sometimes, I guess, if he was mad at mom, that Barbara Hearn was almost your mother.
That's great.
Okay. All right. So that was me at the Mediterranean at the bottom left.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So where did I put it? I think I put it in here. So are you guys interested in learning a little bit about Torah codes? If you're not, I won't do it.
About what?
Torah codes. It's a mathematical, scientific
I think it
thing.
would be, I'm interested, but maybe next video, next Saturday.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
If y'all are interested, there are all kinds of things like JFK,
Mhm.
assassination.
It's kind of like Bible codes, but the Torah.
It is the Bible codes. That's exactly what it is. It's in Genesis, the first 5 books of the Bible,
Hmm.
and there are codes like the Bible code, murder, Twin Towers, thousands, Bin Laden, attack.
Hmm.
There are codes in the Torah that is every major and minor event, and even your name and my name, our birth dates, or when we pass. Everything is in the Torah. It is the blueprint of creation.
Hmm.
And there's no way that this could have been written 3,300 years ago when we got the Torah, unless it was written by a supreme being. And Princess Diana's death, I mean, it says that she was, where is it? I got it right here. August, and it says in these codes, like what you're seeing here,
Hmm.
that August
Hmm.
1997,
Right.
Bayet,
Right.
Driver, Princess Diana, Spencer, Wales, Paris, France, tunnel by the river. Anyway, it's absolutely fascinating, and I've got lots of examples for you guys, and we can talk about it another time if that is something that
Yeah.
you guys would like
Well,
to
we'll
do.
see what the chat says. Let me bring you back real quick before I go.
Okay.
And what you reminded me of, where'd you go? There you are. What you just reminded me, have you heard of the Coral Castle in Florida?
No, I don't think
I interviewed a guy yesterday, and that it may be one of maybe the most mysterious places in the U.S. The Coral Castle. This guy it's going to be a really cool podcast coming up on Monday night. And this guy built a place kind of like Stonehenge all by himself and lifted like a 30-ton. One of the biggest stones is 30 tons, and there's a complete mystery. I mean, it's a huge deal. I mean, he was even on William Shatner's Mysteries show, or whatever William Shatner show is talking about it. And this guy, he's been on, yeah, and this guy has figured out stuff that no one else has figured out. The guy who built it wrote books, and there are codes in his books, just like the Bible or the Torah codes. And he figured out when you look at one of the walls, he figured out that they were actually you see things, and people thought like this one thing was Mars, and then obviously one is Saturn, and then other things, and people thought that that was Mars and Saturn or whatever, but that's not Mars. And he's showing you this creates the constellations in the sky. And it's kind of like the Da Vinci Code in a way, that this guy, he never married. He was just a single guy. He was from Latvia. He wound up in Florida and built this thing. And it's like one of the, if not the greatest mystery in America.
Wow.
The Coral Castle. So if you guys are into those, and it's kind of like that movie. Remember that? You ever see that movie with Nicolas Cage, National Treasure?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that of his castle. It just keeps going deeper, and it's still unsolved.
Wow.
It's still unsolved. It's going deeper and deeper. But this guy is the one that figured out that it's not just random planets on the wall. It's not even showing. I mean, it's showing planets. It's showing the way that when you what do you call those? When you look at constellations, their constellation shapes and everything.
Sagittarius.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing. And one of the thing, and it says, it's kind of faded, but you walk in, it says Spica. And he didn't even know I guess while he was there, he's been there 3 times, but he was there, he wrote that down and figured out that that's actually a star named Spica. And then when he started researching it, where the Spica was in the constellation, then he started going back through the designs on the wall. And I'm surprised nobody ever figured that out. It's been there. He built it in 1923, this guy.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Well, in the first 5 books of the Christian Bible and the Jewish Bible, it's called the Torah, Genesis, it's 304,805 characters, but there's no other book that has codes that are meaningful. There were a couple of sentences in Moby Dick. We looked in War and Peace. The scientists did. I'm not talking about like just rabbis. I'm talking about like Christian scientists. Look this up. And so it'll be interesting as to what he put in his book. But these are events like just even recently the Hawaii fires, and we found the code and found out it was an electrical fire, and 2 weeks later their firefighters found out that it wasn't an electrical fire. So all these things like hurricanes, Katrina, Superdome, the year, all these things were planted into the Torah as far as all major events, and it's just fascinating. But it'll be very interesting to see what he put in his book. But this is something that was written 3,300 years ago and put in there then.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Shira, I've got to run, got to keep the things moving, but thank you for sharing. And as soon as you see that UFO again, come back and tell us about it. Otherwise, we'll see you next Saturday.
I will. If you guys can't get videos of UFOs, take pictures and then come inside and blow them up.
Yes.
And you'll be amazed.
Yes.
Amazed.
All right.
Okay.
Take
love
care.
You.
We love you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And a big round of applause for Shira. Before I go into bring Levin on, Chris Torres is having problems with Zoom. I'm not sure. I thought I saw Chris up there earlier. But you should be able to either use the link, Chris, or you should be able to just go to Zoom, click join a meeting, and then use the ID and the passcode below. Other than that, I'm not sure how else I can help you at this point. All right, where is Levin? I think his audio is there. He's just not here in video.
Hey, brother.
All right. Hey, Levin, and this is your beautiful wife. Who is your...
This is my wonderful wife, my soulmate.
Hello.
My wife, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Jeff. It's nice to meet you.
Likewise. Your audio's a little fuzzy today or something.
Really?
Yeah.
We tried to connect 2 earphones, into one connector.
Maybe
so
that's
maybe
why it's doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
Try to take a minute.
Maybe you should share one. Like put one in her. Yeah, there you go, like that. Maybe that'll work better. We'll see. Either that or we just... Maybe you have a bad connection. Sometimes our connections are off.
Just give me one. Use this actually.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I don't... Yeah, you didn't change.
It didn't.
Removing it from...
Oh.
Oh, wait. It was better.
Is it better now?
Yes. Now it's great.
All right. There we go.
Awesome. All right. So it's great. Well, it's good that you have your better half on today. So let's have her share some information with us.
Sure. So we thought maybe I could come on and share my awakening story as well.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
So my awakening actually happened in 2016. But, really the journey or the path started about 2 years prior. I was in a very bad marriage. But of course now, I've, can look back on it with so much love and gratitude, because in separating from this person who was abusive in every sense of the word, I started to just let go. And then, like Levin said, when, we met, I was already going through some other things, which were kind of ripple effects from this previous marriage, where, I had gotten a cancer diagnosis, cervical cancer, due to a virus because of his infidelity. And so I was told, that, essentially I was going to have a hysterectomy. I was, going to have to live with this virus the rest of my life. And the only person who gave me any glimmer of hope was actually Levin. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, you'll be fine, you'll be fine," like shrugging it off. When, for most people, when you hear like, "Oh, you have cancer," it's almost like a death sentence. And, I work with a lot of people who have cancer diagnoses and who pass from these, this symptom. I'm going to call it a symptom because, in what I came to understand is that it is a symptom of a much larger root problem. Anyway, so, he told me, change your diet, change your lifestyle, and you will be fine. Since he was the only one who gave me any glimmer of hope outside of, mutilating myself by taking, organs out of my body, I was like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And I was like, well, it'll probably take a while. So I made all the necessary plans to, to kind of settle in. And I wasn't just going to take his word for it, though. I started doing my own research and found a lot of information that has actually been kept from us for a very long time. And long story short, 10 months later, and going through a minor outpatient surgery, they told me that, there were no clear margins, that I was going to have to seriously look at the possibility of, hysterectomy. And of course, at this time, I was in my early 30s. I wasn't ready to give up the possibility of having children. And not only that, but, because I grew up with a parent who was in the healthcare field for so long, I also understood what some of the side effects were of that. And then essentially 10 months after I had gotten my official diagnosis, cancer was gone. The virus that fed the cancer was gone. They flew in like 5 specialists. They had no clue what happened. And they weren't interested in anything that I might have done differently. They said it was luck. Their official medical
Wow.
their official medical decision was it was just luck. And I knew better.
That's amazing.
So because of that, it was. And of course, I was like, you know what? I'm never going back now. I'm only gonna move forward. And so, of course, because of this, realizing that, our government, our school systems, the fact that we have had so much truth withheld from us made me really curious about others. why is it that certain things are considered taboo? For example, I grew up as a Southern Baptist Christian. And so even before this awakening, I had already started making, a deeper dive biblically into, for example, like the flood story, and where it talks about, Noah being perfect in his lineage, in his generation. So, in church, we're always taught that, he is pious, right? He's a godly man, and that's why. Well, no, it's because of his DNA was not tainted. And so I had started doing a deeper dive into that, a deeper dive into the giants. And so then from there, looking into other religions, what they have to say. So many of the stories are exactly the same. Why is it that, for example, witchcraft is considered to be demonic? And then when you also look at how today's society is, so many forms of witchcraft are now socially acceptable. Why? Because they've been proven by science. Herbalism, natural healing, makeup. Makeup is considered a form of, glamour magic, but it's perfectly acceptable nowadays. And so in researching all of this, it's like in anything, you have to overcome some hurdles. It's not just easily given at first. You have to be willing to dig for it. And then it's like all of a sudden, all at once, it just sort of begins to pour itself into you. It comes to you internally as well as, externally. I use quotation marks because we are all-encompassing beings. Every single one of us are all that was, is, and ever will be. But you get what I'm saying.
So how did you guys meet in the first place?
We met online. He was looking to connect with someone spiritually, and personally, I was kind of done with relationships, because after my ex-husband and after the divorce, two relationships that were clearly going in the same direction, I was just like, you know what? You know what I want, and I will be open to it if it comes. If not, that's fine. But I'm not going to try and make it happen for myself. It's going to come when it's the right time.
You just surrendered to it.
Exactly.
It's already out there. I wish I would have invented it, but there's a website called I think it's paranormaldate.com, which it's like people who are into all the stuff that's on my podcast that meet each other. I heard it on Coast to Coast AM radio show. I think maybe George Norian created it. I don't know. That would be really. I wish I started that. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah,
that would actually.
It's nice for people.
Let me ask you a question. Are you wearing a sari?
No, I'm wearing one of our t-shirts, and I'm wearing one of my dupatas, which I did pick up whenever I was in India.
Oh, and what is the difference? What is that, a dupata?
So a dupada is kind of like a scarf.
Oh, okay, it's cool.
A very long scarf. Sorry, darling.
So does Levin cook you delicious Indian food?
Yes, he does. His specialty happens to be biryani.
Oh, wow, I love biryani. That's awesome.
Oh, but it's vegetable biryani.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I eat a lot of vegetables.
Mhm.
And what does your T-shirt say again? I think I've seen it before on Levin.
No, this one is called, it says Living the Elf Life.
Living the elf life. Interesting. Levin hasn't spoke about elves before.
Well, she created that design, so she knows, more about her.
So because, in growing up, I was a very big Lord of the Rings fan
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
of it. And so it's eternal love and forgiveness.
Oh, that's cool. That's great. Well, you guys, it's awesome that you guys are both so spiritual because you can help each other and you probably have great conversations.
That's
Yeah.
actually what drew me to him. As a matter of fact, when he first messaged me, I was like, "Oh my God, who is this hippie?" But and actually, whenever I was online, I was just looking for language exchange. I was trying to, better myself, and through my work, we have a lot of Spanish-speaking families that come. But he was just different, and I was drawn to it.
Well, I was also not looking for any relationship, I was already over relationship. I thought for
So
me to
you
get
were
into
over it too.
yeah, for me, relationship is like a danger zone. No, no.
Wow.
Because, as I've seen all this learned within myself that there is conflict within us. So first of all, we have to solve, balance the inner conflict within us. So one must realize it, and then only you can connect with another person completely. So if I'm gonna meet someone else, then they're gonna still have conflict. So if they are not open to connecting with me completely, then it's not gonna work. So I was just looking for a human to human conversation. That's all it was. About truth, about all the things happening in our world. But but everything happened in this way that it started to have depth in the relationship, and it changed into something beautiful.
I think it's great. I think it's awesome. There was even a comment here somewhere, but someone said you guys make a great couple. Where was it? I forgot it. From Phoenix. They make a great couple. Well, thank you guys for coming on, and thanks for bringing your wife on. I hope we get to see more of her, more of you as time goes on.
Sure.
Thank you,
Thank
Jeff.
you.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you, and I gotta run. Thank you, and have a
All
great
right.
rest of your weekend.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Yeah.
And a big round of applause for them. All right, that was awesome. Let me put back on some background music. Maybe that's better. So, as I was saying earlier, tomorrow nights is a woman that had 2 NDEs, and she had she came up with this, I don't know how to say it, 5 dominant things in your life. And we have all of these things, but we're dominant in one, whether it's your spirit, whether it's your body. It's probably too loud. Whether it's your soul, and there's a couple of them I can't remember, oneness, and one more. But I think you guys get it. So that's tomorrow. The next night is R.L. Poole, who's been on Coast to Coast AM 3 times. He's been on that show with William Shatner, and we talked about the Coral Castle. And if you like mysteries, I think you'll really like that show. Let me tell you what else is happening through the week. I had an NDE that I recorded today, and I'm recording an NDE tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday. I think I have 2 guests on Tuesday. Interesting. I don't remember what the other one's about. On Wednesday, I have a pretty famous guy named Jason Shirka. And I think he was in Israel when that attack happened. And then on the 26th, I have Sarah Breskman Cosme, another famous UFO person. So some 2 high-profile guests coming in this week. And then another NDE on Friday. So that's what's coming up this week. It's going to be a really busy week for me. Very, very busy. Lots of recordings. 2 on one day and every day. So that's great. It's weird because sometimes I'll schedule a whole bunch of guests and I'll have like weeks scheduled out. I don't know if I really would, you could say, get lazy. I don't think I'm getting lazy. Let's see if this is some other music. I don't think I'm really getting lazy, but I'm not even sure if it's even complacent is the right word, but I just, I'm comfortable that, okay, I've got a couple weeks worth of guests scheduled. And then I will just kind of, concentrate on the guests and my work or whatever's going on and kind of like relax on, scheduling guests. And then all of a sudden it kind of sneaks up on me. Then all of a sudden I got to start getting, I don't have any guests for the next week. And then I have to start getting guests again. So right now I'm in a good place. I have guests, scheduled. And I think that's one of them. And I'm trying to, I caught myself today speaking to somebody. And anyways, let's go on to Stephen Cake. He's here. Let's see what Stephen has to say. Let's see, where is Mr. Cake? He's halfway here.
In a world,
well, hello there,
where one man's juggling saved the planet.
Wow, save us.
I will save everyone.
Imagine if we were all going through Armageddon and then Stephen came out with juggling and all the demons disappeared when they saw those orbs.
Well, I've been given the power to command all things higher and lower. So that means juggling balls, Jeff.
It's juggling time. All right, I got some music for you here.
Yeah, acid great. Just rat them off.
Do you think you can dance while juggling?
Well, I try to do that in my videos. Like if I'm doing 3 balls, I can move.
Yeah.
I was gifted this ability to throw and juggle at the same time.
I like when you do the sideways ones. That looks cool. Yeah, I like that.
And occasionally I drop one, but who doesn't?
How have the mind jackers been recently?
Well, Jeff,
have you been shutting them out?
A serious mind jacking over here.
They're not letting up, huh?
They won't let me say what I want to say. They've got me by the balls, folks. They've got me by the balls. I'm on a severe, they put me in a gag order, folks.
A gag order?
Mind jackers, they got me in a gag order.
They're saying
can't say whatever I want.
They're telling you, Stephen, we're gonna put you in timeout.
We're putting you in timeout, Stephen. You've had too much fun today. No, it's the other way around. See, I beg God to tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, there's no one running reality. I say, but it's like there's a greater mind. that's smarter than us, but it doesn't seem to have a will.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, like, a lot of times in movies, it's like, I say, like, the joke is like, who's driving this flying umbrella? It's just happening. Reality's just going on. Because during this enlightenment, I said they made it easier for me to do things. I know that one of your guests said that's channeling. I said it was just, I said it was a gift when it's easy or natural to do. Because not everyone can just do things. They can't. And I say sometimes there's a breakthrough. Like we're working on it, all of a sudden we could just do it. With my impressions, I said, like I know I've told you that it took effort to do some of them. I had to focus. I had to, for instance, when I talked like this, Jeff, it wasn't easy for me to do. But now it could just run on autopilot. It could just go on, go. Like I could just sit there and do it over.
You've mastered it.
It'd be easy. Yeah, I said, but I feel like it was gifted to me because there was I could do the Doc Brown. Marty, it's easy for me to talk like this. Like it just like flew out of me.
Well, that's fascinating.
A lot of actors say that too.
It's fascinating that you say that you are gifted, which to me implies that that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I say it's kind of like that's what I wanted. I said I wanted to be, oh hey, funnier than Robin Williams, or zanier than Jeff Goldblum, or very getting on a Tonight Show. I just want to, like, they're kind of messing with my voice a little bit here, Jeff. So
by the way, Luke was asking if you could do Trump versus Yoda.
Trump versus Yoda, I will not do. Let me tell you something, folks. It's a wild, wacky world out there, isn't it, folks? I say reality's just throwing curveballs all day long.
What if you did? What if you had like Trump being Paul McCartney?
Paul, man, what we're gonna do, man. I'm throwing a party, tonight. We're gonna be.
But what if you did that with Trump doing McCartney?
Trump, he does my heart. Like, what is this? What is this? What are we talking about here, Jeff? You're
just taking it to the next level.
Your mind is very interesting. Let's study it a little more here. Let's see what's going on behind the scenes here. This is one thing they told me. Let's see if they let me say, mind jacker, will you let me say this? They said we're having thoughts, because I keep saying my mind, and they say, no, you're having a thought. They keep telling me that.
Interesting.
Yeah, they just correct me on a lot of little things. But see, what's going on in my life should not be happening. My dad wrecked my life and no one cared. And so I've had to basically beg God, because I said, I don't want to die.
Let me reframe something for you. Let me think about this. Now, was the grinding of your teeth, because that's what he did to you, right?
Yes.
Is that the only thing that he did that, quote unquote, wrecked your life?
Well, I would say that everyone denied it. I said, like, if you have a problem and people are compassionate, then you can deal with it. But if they deny it and then they make it worse, another dentist made it worse, then I said, like, it's overwhelming. And it's like, I feel like no one cares. So, but I didn't want to die. So it's like, I said, it's, you could say God's spirit, like the spirit where I can endure it. Cause I said, like, why are, I'd rather not have anyone, do bad things. I can't even say those words, but I don't know how to fix it other than maybe if people cared. But that's what I wanted. I said I wanted to be happy. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I like it makes me feel better to make other people's feel better too. So
that's great. Yeah. I think that's one of the the deepest things that a person can do is help another person.
Yeah.
And you're helping people in your way by helping them feel better. right? You bring a smile to people. You're out there when you go out and just tell people have a great day or God loves you or whatever.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore.
You're lifting people up in a way.
Yeah, I said that I had something in me, and they said, "You're doing what you want to do." And I said, like, I felt like I think before I was more like an introvert, but I wanted to be, because I said everything in my life is kind of like backwards or stupid. Because I said, like, I was like an introvert who wanted to be this wonderful comedian and funny, but I just couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So they put you could say a spirit, but I can't explain it. And then I asked for what the truth was, and they said, we can only give you a belief. They couldn't give me the truth. I said, what's the truth about everything? And they, the greater mind, whoever we're talking to. And I said, they control your thoughts. They can replace your thoughts. They can turn your thoughts off, but no one's doing it. So that's kind of the mystery of reality. Can never really be figured out.
What's interesting to think about, and I spoke to a lady today, I recorded it today, that when she decided to take her life and she felt like she had a diseased mind and all these irrational thoughts. Mm-hmm. But when she popped on the other side, there was no more thinking. There was just kind of like existing and calmness. So to go back to what you're saying about, and what you just said, and I kind of went off, but he told you you're just having thoughts. It's not your mind, or what? Can you repeat that?
Yes, I say it's like there's an intelligence that acts as our thoughts. And so it's kind of like they pulled back the curtain to reveal that you're not, because people will just have these thoughts during the day. They think, oh, it's just your mind generates thoughts. And that's kind of like how I thought I was alone, but now it's like I have an intelligent, it's not a Secret Service agent.
Right. I think even I think even a certain famous person will say that you are not your thoughts. And if you can step back, not figuratively step back, and witness, right. You as the being can witness the thoughts coming along and know it's not, it's hard to think about your brain creating thoughts without you thinking them. Right?
Yeah, I don't think our brains creating these thoughts.
What do you think?
Because they showed me all these different ways that it could happen. So it's like, is that my brain? I don't think so. But they can. We've got to buy the balls, yeah. Maybe we're getting too deep there, darling. Maybe we need to go back to find something in Scotland. I should put me on America's Got Talent. I said, you could put me on Scotland's Got Talent. What do you know about that one?
We've got them by the orbs.
Oh, thank you, Jeff, for having me on my show. No, I will become enlightened in front of everyone by absorbing the balls right into me. Holy, holy, hallelujah. They showed me that they can take over your vocal cords too, so you could sing better.
Do you think it's possible? I've had a guest or two at least talk about entity attachments. Do you think the mind jackers can just be an entity attachment?
Yeah, I say there's no way we can tell, because with my spirit friend, some people say they have a spirit with them, and I said, there's no way that I could tell that if it's a spirit or what's going on. But I asked and they just said, no one's doing it. And I said, who's moving my head? And they said, no one. See, someone's moving my head, but it's not an entity. I know I used to do that.
That sounds like Monique's back.
Monique, Jeff, what do you want? I've got them. One thing they did during this enlightenment was they could voice box me. And that means like a voice comes out of you, but you aren't controlling your own voice box. And I said there was this poltergeist activity where they would do that. where it's like, Jeff, but they're not consciously doing it. And I said, in my view, that's can't say the words. They won't let me say everything I want to say because they want to run reality, Jeff. They don't want anyone to find out what's going on. I need a book or a movie. They said, you just write a book or a movie.
Wow.
It's called The Mindjackers. And
that would be a pretty cool movie. It's a great title, The Mindjackers.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be like a science fiction type thing. And yeah, I say it's kind of like truth gets kind of leaked to us. That's how I see it. It's not like we come out and here's the truth. It's like it's in books, it's in movies. It's kind of.
How would you write?
I don't think anyone needs to get the truth.
I mean, would the mindjackers be taking people over and making them do stuff? Spy stuff?
Probably be about my life, kind of like a fantasy about my life, about how I was taken over. My mind was taken over. I thought I was in a dual world. They had me. It was like I was in a movie. I'm like Neo in the Matrix or something. I mean, it's like, whoa. Hey, Jeff, nice being on the show, man. Whoa, it's excellent out here. I said the religion of the future is going to be like, be excellent to each other.
That would be cool. Well, we got too deep today, Stephen, I guess.
We did.
The mindjackers they would not.
They let me say a little bit here, Jeff. A little bit here.
Every day I have to get every time I get a little bit out of you until the mindjackers shut us down.
That's right, Jeff. I saw Forrest Gump running once. He's going to make a movie called Forrest Gump 2. We're running for more money. We're going to run for the law. We're running for president. We're running for everything.
We're running from mindjackers?
Yeah.
Well, Stephen, I've got to do what I've got to do.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, mate. All right, so it was nice seeing you all here today. Have a great night, everyone.
It was great seeing you, Stephen. I will see you next week, brother.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And there he goes. And a big round of applause for Stephen. And B from New York, thank you very much for that super thanks. We really appreciate it. Let's go to Joseph. Now, wait, I almost jumped in. Joseph, are you here in the chat? We've got to vet you. So we will check this out and see if Joseph is in the chat. Unfortunately, I've got to wait 10-15 seconds because it's on a delay. But we'll find out. And I need to do this, by the way. I need to shut down my screen share. Yes, so that's done. All right, so we have someone, I don't know who it is. The name is Joseph in the chat. And we're trying to find out who's there and who's not. We have a sighting today of Mika. She has just been sitting here in Mara's chest. I mean, not chest, but in her lap. Who's on deck? Who's on deck is Joseph. We're trying to see if Joseph's here. If he's a background person or in our reality. Mika, we need to get you a JeffMara podcast t-shirt, don't we? Huh? That would be pretty cool. Actually, we should make dog clothing. How about that? All right, Joseph is not here, so I guess we will move on unless Joseph shows up. I guess this is too loud. Joseph Stump. Oh, there's the person, Joseph Stump. Making Halloween art. Is that you, Joseph? Making Halloween art. Let's see if I can figure out who is that. Are you Joseph Stump? the same person that's in the chat. My laptop's not working. Let's see if I can do it from this computer. Person, he says yes. No video. So doesn't have video. Do you happen to have a Facebook or some way that we can verify you are who you say you are? And I'm sorry to have to do this to you, but you know, it is what it is. And what it is we get background people coming here causing trouble. So we don't know. We have to kind of do this to sort it out. And I will say the other day, I've been working, check this out. I don't know if I told you about this. I've been trying to do UFOs like John Martin does. And I've been going out and playing guitar. And I also kind of what he does, but also after talking to Daryl Anka the other day about passion. So I was trying to be more passionate in my playing, and maybe a week or two I might have saw something. I was out on my balcony and I saw something, and it seemed like it showed twice. And then and then 2 or 3 nights ago I tried again, and I saw it was either a ship or a shooting star. It kind of looked more like a shooting star. It came down and it kind of trailed down quickly. But, I mean, maybe that was a ship too, or not. I'm not really sure, but I thought that was really cool. So I'm still working on it and still trying it. And I have to figure out, I need to go out in my backyard really, because from the balcony I only have a certain view, whereas if you're out in the backyard, then I have more view of the sky, and I want to work on that. That would be amazing if I can get some videos of you guys. But I think that more and more people are now, you know, we got Tanya, we got John Martin, we got Shira. More and more people are able to do this. So maybe we can all do it. And actually, after talking to the psychologist the other day, what was his name? Let's see, I can tell you. The psychologist that's doing, PhD psychologist that's now doing psychic research, it was Dr. Jeff Tarrant. And Dr. Jeff Tarrant is saying that you have to believe in being, well, this is about being psychic, but he said in order to be psychic, you have to believe in it. Otherwise, it's like a filter, which I found fascinating. So that's kind of what I've been up to. And now we got Joseph again as Joey Stump. So I'm just really on the fence about this. And I think Joseph, someone said he had Instagram or something, which I don't know if I have an Instagram up. Do I have Instagram up? Guess I would look under Joey Stump. I don't know if it's harder on your computer to do Instagram. Here we go. Let's do a search that way. Uh-oh, there's lots of Joey Stumps. That's pretty common. That was no help. All right, let me go back to my video here. Joe is good to go, Jeff. Jason Seagram is verifying Joe. Are you sure on that? Because you're going to really ruin my evening if I have to go back and edit this video. So that's the risk that I'm taking. Hope you're not mad at me. I won't say anything more. It was just a glitch. Human, we're not mad at you. I'm not really sure what even happened. Hi, Joe G. Jeff will see your Instagram. Oh, okay. At Stump Joseph. Let me see. Let's do the search again. At Stump J-O. Maybe I'm not spelling that right. J-O. Stump Joseph. Joey Stump. Oh, there he is. And wow, he is a pretty cool artist here. All right, well, I'll take a chance. We'll see what's going to happen here. We will take a chance. And see what happens. We saw his work on IG. All right, we see his artwork. We don't have him on audio yet. And that, it looks like it's backwards. Let me flash this up so he can understand that we can't hear him. Made by our very own Penny for me. Penny, if you're here tonight, thank you so much for making this. And I don't even use this on the live stream. Sometimes even with my guests, I have to hold this up. I have to just wait for them to sync. Sometimes the audio just doesn't sync in time. Someone says, I'm scared. Still scared. Joey. Oh, nope, it's not there. I just saw his name there. Oh, he's gone. Sometimes what you need to do is you need to leave and come back because the audio just won't. Sometimes it just, oh, there we go. It's connecting. Almost there. You gotta unmute yourself. Joey.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I'm like watching the other video.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, you still got me on YouTube or what?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry to put you through all this, but you know, I don't know how long you've been with us, but the show has been attacked more than once. So we have to just kind of figure something out. But you are very good at drawing and whatever else you're up to. The pictures I saw on your Instagram are great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What are you coming on to talk about? Your art or what? Someone, I thought I saw in the chat you didn't want to talk about paranormal. You wanted to talk about art or something.
Just if you have someone else that's waiting, I would just like knock me off because I just thought I would just like pop in because I'm kind of getting on Instagram and networking for like a business kind of, or just like drawing.
Cool.
So it's not really like, I feel like I'm kind of an imposter or something.
No, it's, sometimes it's busy, sometimes it's not. It's getting closer to the end of the night anyways. So you're networking. What are you looking for people to hire you to do artwork for them?
Yeah, like I paint murals.
Really?
Do like commission work sometimes, yeah. And mostly I'm just like giving things away. So but I'm kind of it's like I make like business cards and flyers and go out and try to like get mural jobs.
Cool.
But it's like what I'm doing a lot is like Halloween stuff. So that's why I thought I would like contact you because it's like kind of supernatural themed a little bit.
Yeah, it's really good. Is it possible that you could ever do UFO or NDE art? Going through a tunnel, UFOs, aliens, Bigfoot, angels?
I would just like draw anything. I would just like I draw like random stuff. I've probably drawn all of those things at one time or another,
I've got a message in the chat that says they want to see the Halloween art again.
That's what I was gonna do. Kind of like Stephen Cake. Like I was gonna just like juggle for you or something. You know, like
Yeah, whatever you want.
this is really strange though. This is like a Twilight Zone of its own talking to you because I've been watching your show. You know, it's like
Well, thank you. Thank you for watching me.
strange to be like
You are
I'm
here.
having a.
We're just hanging out, you and me, and 260 of our closest friends.
I'm having a experience as we speak.
Well, we all love art, so I'm happy to see art. I love art, and now I don't, I don't get to see a lot of it. I get to see I don't get out a lot, to tell you honestly, and especially don't get out to museums or places to see art. I mostly see art through my guests, so I'm happy to see what you're up to.
Yeah, it's basically an advertisement, so it's like pretty selfish. I feel like
Well,
it's
plug
like,
yourself, plug away. That's okay.
yeah, I don't know, just drawing this right now.
Mm-hmm. What kind of are you? It looks like I saw paint on your desk. How are you putting those colors on?
Yeah, that's like acrylic paint.
That's cool. That's really awesome. And you got a whole notebook of those?
Yeah, I've just been doing like all Halloween style. I've been doing like as many Halloween drawings as I can, like since September. So
Let's. Oh,
like,
I was gonna say, let's see. Open up your spiral. Let's see what else you got.
thank you so much.
Did you do the painting behind you, by the way?
Yeah,
On the wall. Yeah, that one's cool. I like that one. The colorful one with all the kind of those shapes. Yeah, great job.
spray paint.
Have you ever, I'm sure you've probably seen it, like in the city here, there would be guys that would be on the street kind of spray paint artists.
Yeah.
When you made me think of that, can you do that stuff too?
I'll like go out with an easel and just like paint a canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm gonna like put some, like live painting kind of. I'm trying to get like to events.
All right. Even Penny's saying, let's see some more. So we want to see some more. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't want to take up space on your show. So if you have someone else that's ready to join, just
put it
go
this
for
way.
it.
Put it this way. When I need to go, I'll let you know. How about that? That reminds me of the guy. What was that movie with Bruce Lee's son, Jason Lee? But this one says Billy. Who is this guy Billy supposed to be? Looks cool.
It's Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus.
Oh, wow.
I don't know about copyright stuff. I'm just.
Oh, you're all right.
I don't know what movie you're talking about. Didn't come to mind.
Probably someone in the chat will know.
All the time. Leaves.
Oh, okay.
Just like Halloween random stuff. Angels.
Mm-hmm. Skeleton angels.
My cat as an angel.
Oh, cool. Looks like the Disney castle in the background.
Yeah, I've been drawing
Reminds me
like
of that.
Bat Mickey. This is like a kind of just like all kinds of Halloween style.
What is your inspiration for your artwork? Besides Halloween.
I'll just like draw anything really. It's like right now I'm doing like I'll just like get pictures of flowers up on the internet and just to draw. I don't really have any. It's like I'll just like get a DVD case of like whatever movies. So just like my favorite movies and stuff. Like I have a picture of Jack Black on my Instagram. School of Rock, you know. Yep.
What's that one? That looks pretty neat. What is that?
That's for school. It's a deer.
Wow. That's nice. So you're taking art in school? You're an art major?
Yes. That's my plan. I'm kind of just like, I've been working and just taking classes. I just take this is like art 300, so it's like art 1, like the beginning community college art class.
Or do you have the ability to just whatever you can think of, you see it in your mind's eye and then you can draw it?
Yeah, I
Kind
can
of
draw
like-
like a bad picture of anything, you know.
Kind of like a musician can hear a song and then they can kind of, okay, yeah, I heard the chords, and then they can kind of, they can't play to, reproduce it exactly, but let's say they're a guitarist, they hear a song and then they can play it for you. But
Yeah,
that's like a hearing thing, but yours is more of a visual thing. Like you can see something and then draw it.
Yeah, this is somewhat of a spiritual experience, or not spiritual, but like supernatural experience. Is like sometimes I can draw anything, but it just isn't always a good drawing necessarily, you know. So, but sometimes an image will just like go straight on the paper. Like if I think of like a person, like a figure, a public figure, or like sometimes it'll just like the lines will just like go like exactly how it looks, you know. It's just like a timing and like the, I don't know, it's kind of a strange happening.
Right. Well, you definitely are talented.
Yeah, I don't know what to show you on here. Like I could just like keep, I have I don't know, I don't want to show you too many or just like bombard you with.
Well,
But I have some that are more.
What do you have that you are most proud of?
I have some that are like more finished in here that are some Halloween ones. There's a flower.
Nice.
Just like trying to get super detailed and like more of like a, yeah. A lot of these are just kind of doodles. This is Bam Margera from CKY.
I recognize him.
Skateboarding, I do like a
Oh,
lot
that
of
looks cool.
But I'll try to get to the there's a can you guess it? I don't want to. Here's like a Halloween one that's more rather than just some doodles.
It's cool.
It's not finished though.
I like the colors that you used as well. Luke in the chat is saying for you to make canvas art, big things. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, like oil paint, like any size. I've done like large scale murals.
What is this one? This looks interesting.
It's I was just like pausing Hocus Pocus and just like drawing any images from that. This is like the beginning scene of Hocus Pocus when she's like turning. That's Binks before he's a cat.
Unfortunately, I don't watch TV. I mean, if that's a TV show, I don't really watch it. I'm so busy. I don't even have cable TV. I'll put it that way. So I like these like Hocus Pocus. I don't have a reference for that. That's good. I have a reference for Walt Disney though.
Yeah, it's a '90s Walt Disney movie, Hocus Pocus, like a live action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought I would just give it a shot and see how it goes.
Well, let me help you out. If people want to find out more about your art, do they go to your Instagram? Is that how they want to, if they want to, commission you for something? Do they hook up with you on Instagram or Facebook or a website or what?
Yeah, I'm just like networking on Instagram mostly, and then I have a Facebook marketplace set up so people can just like one click and buy prints and stuff.
All right. Have you ever considered making a YouTube channel and maybe, teaching people how to, talking about your art or working on some art or making videos on how to create your art, anything like that?
yeah, if I keep doing this, I'll probably eventually do that. I'm kind of like, so it's kind of like part-time work. I'm gonna see like how it goes. I'm also going to school, so I'm trying to like have an actual career.
Oh, cool. I think it's great. You know, you're passionate about art, and I totally agree that if you can make it work, do your work as your passion. You know what I mean? Find out what you're
Yeah,
passionate
that's what.
about and do it.
Yeah, I question my thoughts of like what is an actual career, or it's like should I could just put 8 hours a day into this and probably make the same wage as a full-time job, you know?
Yeah, exactly. All right, sir. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on, Joey, and showing us your art, and you're welcome anytime. And maybe you can make us an NDE art sometime and come and show us.
Yeah, I'm just like
If
anything.
something, you listen to a podcast, hear somebody's NDE, and then maybe something will inspire you to create an art based on one of my guests.
Yeah, it's
That would
a
be really
pretty
cool.
serious channel, so I didn't know if this was really the place to
Nah.
be, but I mean, you have some.
No, you know, that's also kind of what my Saturday is about, is helping helping out the community. Many people come on and, you know, share what they're up to. So I'm happy to have you. All right. Well, at least I know next time I'll let you directly in. I've had you before and you are safe. So on that note, Joey, thank you very much for coming and sharing. I appreciate you, and have a great rest of your weekend.
All right. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Jeff.
Likewise. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. And where is that? There it is. A big round of applause for Joey. And somebody said that they mailed me. I saw this pop in the chat. Who said that before I go here? That they mailed me a painting. And where was that? But I don't think I got a painting in the mail, unless you can tell me what it was. I have one. Well, I do have two things that I've gotten in the mail. Where is that person that said that they mailed me something? I just saw it. Spiritual, so good. Oh, Light Beacon said that you mailed me a painting. Did I get it? I don't think so, Light Beacon. And I've moved about, well, I don't know, when did we move? In the end of July, early August? So it's been a few months. I don't even think it may have went to my old address. I don't put my address in the videos anymore. But art, and if you can tell me what it is, I don't remember. It was a weird one, probably had feathers. No, I don't. But what I can show you guys, and I feel terrible because I don't remember. I don't even know if I should show it because I can't remember the artist who sent it to me. But I have an amazing piece of art up here that an artist made. And I don't even know if I can look real quick. I have to go to the JeffMara podcast Facebook page because I think I made a post about it. I don't even know how do I even find out my own personal posts? I don't know how that's going to work out, gosh. I have to go way back, and I don't know how to go way back with this stuff. But, maybe I'll do it. I'll just show it to you guys when I finally make a room video. But I have two pieces of art. One of them was, he makes this special art that he like drips paint or something. And I have another one where the person makes collages, and it's really cool too. And I want to show those when I actually do that. And I got another one. I guess you can have art too. And he was a guest that makes like crystal art. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, it's 10:09. It's been about 2 hours-ish, maybe a little more. And so, again, the next 2 podcasts, tomorrow night's a cool NDE with the 5 dominant things in your life. And then the next one is the Coral Castle. And we've got some other things coming up. So we really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us on Saturday nights and watching all our videos. And so thank you. And on that note, have a great rest of your weekend. We love you guys. God bless you and good night.